Hey, Joseph59 here to show you guys how to make this cube wooden candle holder. Just using a 2x4 here, you can pick one up at your local hardware store. They do come in 8-foot long sections. Obviously, you'd make quite a lot of these candle holders that we're making. So let's go ahead and glue them up. Let this sit for an hour. Come back with a scraper to scrape off all the beads of glue because it's easier to do it when it is still soft. And then I'm going to go ahead and let it sit in the clamps for 8 hours. Find our center point. I just grabbed a scrap piece of wood, or you can use a ruler, anything that's got a nice straight edge. And just line up the two corners on each end. And take your pencil, draw your line, and now we've got our center point. You want to take your center punch and just find the middle of the X here. And then just take with the point, push down. For sanding the blocks, I started off by sanding the bottom. Just used 120 grit sandpaper, just lightly go back and forth. And I just used a square to make sure I always stayed square, because I did find sometimes if you did put too much pressure leaning forward, you can take away that squareness and becomes a little bit round. So just be careful of that. And then you can do the rest by hand. All I did was use my orbital sander with 150 grit sandpaper and just lightly did on top and made sure I was rotating it. Again, went back and used my square to make sure everything was all nice and square. And then I took 150 grit sandpaper and just lightly sanded the edges. We still want to keep that square shape, but we want to make them nice and smooth. For adding the letters on, I just used my Cricut machine to cut out the letters and place them on. Use my pencil to trace them out. Now obviously if you didn't have a Cricut machine, you certainly can go ahead and print off the free plans that I'll provide. Just some quick tips. You want to make sure when you're routering that you're going straight down the middle. Remove as much material you can and get close to the line. Once you get close to the line, you can come back and take off smaller amounts. That way you're more accurate to get to the line. As you can see, this side is already done. And I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of the letter. Just using 120 grit sandpaper and slightly just sand it just to get rid of any fuzzies left behind from the router and also to get rid of your pencil marks. For the inside of the letters, I'm just using some regular latex black paint. I just picked up a tester at the Home Depot and just got it into just a plain black. Using a nice detailed brush, just picked one up at the dollar store. I found that one worked really well. You just want to dip it in some of the paint and then just kind of apply it on. It's okay, you will get some that will miss and get some on the edges. Don't worry about that, we'll sand it off later. Just make sure you get the black paint in all the corners and creases. I'm going to go ahead and let them dry for 2 hours. I'm just going to be using here 120 grit sandpaper, and I'm just going to sand off any excess black that I missed and got on top. And blow off. You want to take 150 grit sandpaper, and I'm just using a scrap piece of block here. It's about the same size. And we'll rub it in the same direction again, because we want to make this one nice and smooth. For the clear coat, I used Varathane Professional Semi-Gloss Finish, and I used a small brush. I found that was easier to get inside all the letters, and I applied 3 coats to all 5 sides. Thanks for checking out this video. All links are in the description below for this video. Definitely subscribe for more videos just like this. Don't forget to share this video and post your comments below. Some of the best tips and feedback come from you. Thanks for watching.